Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's live time.
It is live time.
We do it live!
We do it live!
I'd like to state for the record that we've already lost one viewer while you were gone. We had 2 people waiting, and now there is only one because I'm the one that's going to be pausing and watching.
But there are 3 now. There are now 3.
Maybe.
Welcome to the Silverstone circuit in the lovely UK. Not foggy at all today. I'm stunned. This is
all the fog and hail.
This is our enduro race of the Audi TT VLN cars, and this is round 10 of, I'm honestly not sure how many, in the Enduro Series. These races happen once a month and are 90 minutes long in the ESR community. Mike Stoppmill has so far gone.
A hell of a long time.
Mike Stoppmill has so far gone the fastest, but I feel like I didn't really need to tell you that.
That for any new viewers at home, Mike Stoppmill a little fast.
Only about a half second faster than Mr. Zerai Garunian. You know, Zerai has historically been able to challenge him on single lap pace, so hopefully we see that today.
But then multi-laps though.
Well, then Zerai's crappy internet connection comes into play.
Correct. Welcome to the internet roulette, where anything can and will happen from deepest, darkest Ukraine.
That is sadly a unavoidable fact of sim racing online. Is your internet connection does play a role, and it sometimes is a bitch.
Son of a gun! But he is Christoph rocking the fetching green color. Could be a little darker, I feel, to match the grass.
Indeed, if that was a darker green, I'd be really down with that car, but I'm not really down with the lime green color.
Also correct.
We got pit stops today, so that'll be interesting. Hopefully the updated software for the spectator picks up the pit stop count, and we don't have to spend endless time guessing if someone has pitted or not. Because that's
Correct.
Always fun. But on the dark side, the 1.9 spectator software seems to be a little bit unstable. So if you change cameras too much, it tends to jam up and get stuck on one car. So we're going to be largely just auto-director for this recording until we get perhaps a hot fix from the spectator people. But I do like the feature. I do like the features they are working in.
We have my friend Chris, who I used to work with in chat. He says the car looks all gray to him. Chris is very colorblind, so feel free to
assume that was the case.
Yeah, he's as colorblind as Roush.
Oh. Roush does not see color, only purple.
No. Oh, he only sees shades of enemy.
He can only see shades of skill.
Correct. Press 2, load skill.
Welcome, Chris, to the broadcast. Does Chris know anything about racing, or is he just here for your melodious
I don't know.
voice?
He probably knows more than me about racing.
Oh!
Which, I mean, is the lowest bar there is.
This is a very low bar.
He actually drives, so I mean, that's a step above me.
Hey, I don't drive, and he's probably a step below me, I think.
I would feel that, yeah, but you've got like Asperger's or something, and you got problems.
I mean, I got problems, and there's 99 of them.
He has other problems, but I mean, you have other problems.
Stay tuned after this race for the announcement in regards to the Academy.
Ooh.
So we'll put that on a live broadcast, and there will also be on Discord. So obviously, don't worry if you're not watching this.
Nope. We will be only broadcasting it on Ventrilo.
That would be intriguing.
Yeah.
Never had great experiences with Ventrilo, to be honest.
Me neither.
Always seemed like
definitely 3 or 4 times.
Always seemed with like definitely the third option between Discord, TeamSpeak, and Ventrilo.
Yeah. How long has Discord been around for? I
pretty long time.
Keep thinking. Well, I keep thinking that it's been a very recent thing, but then I'll come across somebody mentioning it in a video that somebody had a Discord server like years and years and years ago. wasn't aware it was around.
It's become more mainstream usable in more recent times.
Last 3 or 4 years.
It used to be kind of like the hipster communication system almost.
I'm looking it up. Discord software, Wikipedia. It's only been around 4 years. It's been since 2015.
I thought a little longer than that.
So, yeah, well, I
was thinking like 2012, 2013.
Yeah. So I thought, from what I was hearing from people, they would be, in that area. Maybe somebody bought it from somebody and developed it, but it's only been around since 2015.
All right. Well, there we go. Answer to life's great mysteries about Discord and gaming.
Indeed, very much so. Chris says it's been around for 10 years, but Wikipedia disagrees with Chris. That doesn't mean Chris is wrong. That just means Chris hasn't edited Wikipedia yet.
Because Wikipedia can absolutely be wrong.
What?
See every UFC card right after it happens, and how people will alter various things about it.
Man, I wish I could find those screenshots I had of, I can't remember, Bisping. I think it was Bisping fight? Or it might have been Bisping versus Anderson Silva. That shit was hilarious.
7th place now belongs to Javi P, the newest addition to the fight sim.
Indeed, the fight simulator, Javier El Picante Perez Torres.
Update on Javi's career. He has had his debut fight, and it resulted in a TKO victory.
Indeed, very much so. He kicked that man.
No, this wasn't the Evan Wheeler fight. This is career mode action.
Oh, he kicked that other man.
He defeated Rodrigo Lopez.
Ooh. Brown on brown crime.
Brown on brown crime. That's usually how it goes. Paul Riccobeni is still sitting at 3-1. He is a little bit injured after the Dylan Fournier fight, so some time off required.
Correct. John the Carnival Barker. Everybody's driving the green car. What the hell?
There's a couple of different green cars, but they are that same shade of green, which is a bit of a problem.
Correct. Well, one's got like more black in a particular area.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree with all of these usages. I demand, is anybody rocking the Pro Handy?
Pro Handy car. Let's have a look-see here.
I always enjoy seeing the Pro
Handy. Carol Vega might be. I'm looking at the small-ass picture, so I don't, I'm never quite sure, but could be Carol.
Yeah.
Not that practice overly matters, because people could be working race setup, people could be working at qualifying setup, but your top 5 at the moment, Stop, Mill, Garunian, Vega, Verstappen, and my new teammate for the upcoming 3D Speed Series, Mr. Wayne Hutchinson. Shout out to Wayne.
Ooh.
We have, myself and him have joined Mike Stoffmill on what is known as Team Godzilla Racing.
Very nice. Gojira.
We will be running the Nissan GTRs in the coming season, and of course, for those who are unaware, the Nissan GTR is nicknamed Godzilla because it sounds like Godzilla when it starts up, and is horrifying.
That sounds awesome. See, everybody's rocking the green car.
I think it's really actually
got the Ultimate Warrior paint job.
I think it's really just John Barker and Christoph Verstappen, and the auto director has been paid off to keep going to them. They are actually the only 2 green cars.
Well, that seems unlikely since I've seen nothing but green cars.
But it's always been these 2. So I don't know. They paid the director.
But I never learned how to read.
Christoph Verstappen has bribed the director. Rotec Racing wants the screen time. That's all there is to it, sir. Whoa! Woo! Maybe not that screen time. Oh!
Hell yeah, get her.
Losing control
Chris
there.
is cheering for Team Godzilla. And I have a question: are you each adopting a different Godzilla movie as a nickname?
I mean, we definitely could do that.
Indeed.
Martin Edmonds.
What if somebody's going to be Godzilla 2000?
Oh God. I mean, I guess that's me. I'm the worst.
No, Godzilla 2000 was that's not the North American one.
Oh, okay.
I know that's why you said that. I'm a Godzilla fan. I know you're prejudiced against Matthew Broderick.
No, I've historically not actually seen a lot of Godzilla movies, surprisingly enough.
Well, I happen to have seen them all. Somebody's going to be Godzilla destroy all the monsters.
That would be a stop mill for... Well, no. Stop mill's king of the monsters, let's be honest.
There you go. Somebody's king of the monsters, and then somebody's destroy all monsters.
That'll be Wayne.
And then Godzilla 2000. Those are the
And
best titles, I think.
I will be Godzilla 2000, I guess.
There you go. Godzilla the North American one is just called Godzilla.
Yes, correct.
Actually, both that one and the first new North American one were both just Godzilla. Which is fine. Everybody's like, it's not that big a deal. Have you seen Godzilla? Yes. Whoa, what was that?
I think James Butler came to a very sudden stop there. Not really sure why. Mike Stopmill sporting the Aero car.
Yeah, Chris, maybe you should change your nickname to Gadzuki, who is like the kid of Godzilla.
I mean, it works. It definitely works, because I will be Mike Stockmill's child for the entire season.
I said, boy!
He has made the pledge that he will get me and Wayne into pro standing within the ESR community.
Nice. Will you be riding the pro handies in the pro standing?
We did have a really solid non-official race at we actually had a terrible race, but me and Wayne actually locked out the front row, so that was pretty cool.
Interesting. Fran Machuca has joined.
And then we both horribly fucked up the start. I forgot to put the car in gear, and I went very much backwards.
Heavy P rocking the Los Angeles Chargers or whatever the hell backwater.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much looking Charger style. There's a whole gridiron. There's a whole Gridiron Heights episode where they're trying to convince the Chargers to relocate to Florida. They're like, you could be the Chesapeake Chargers and play out of the medieval times.
That would be dope. Are they ever going to get rid of Rivers? Like, Jesus.
I mean, Rivers is about the best thing about their team right now, so I don't know if you really want to do that.
I know. I think it's because they can't afford anything else.
He is getting kind of old.
They had Drew Brees, but no!
Yeah, the Drew Brees thing is kind of a weird thing, because people forget that Drew Brees, when he started off in San Diego, kind of was shit for 2 seasons.
Well, he's a rookie.
And then they drafted Phillip Rivers, and he's like, oh, I see how it is. Excuse me. I need to do some things.
Yeah. Is he still injured this season? Is he only going to get like 7,000 yards passing because of injury?
I believe Teddy Bridgewater is still starting, per the Gridiron Heights episode spoof of the 7 cents.
It is hilarious to go through all the passing records
for
the
NFL.
What?
It totally didn't hit me until now, but Taysom Hill has made basically 3 appearances at Gridiron Heights, and twice he's been a Brad Pitt character.
Very nice. I like it. Ariel's fucking sliding around these corners. I enjoy that a good deal.
Indeed, he is absolutely wringing the neck of this car. That is for absolute sure. In the Molar Bill car. I actually do like the Molar Bill car. It's a little plain.
Not too bad.
But it's pretty cool.
I'm sure there's a joke I can make out of Molar Bill, but I just haven't got around to it yet.
I like Mike Stockmill's car here, the Aero car. Road-Tech racing car. Very nice. No Hartford Whalers car, though. I'm a little let down by that. Where are the Whalers at?
It is a little upsetting.
Where the Whalers at, boys?
For Chris, this is just 50 Shades of Grey.
True. To see the world through the eyes of a colorblind man. That'd be interesting.
Well, I could just poke you really hard in the eyes.
My color spectrum is abhuman, but it is there.
I have more of like predator vision.
Mr. Stopmill comes across the line with a new fastest lap of the session. He is close to about 75 hundredths of a second up on Carol Vega, and a pretty good lap there by Javier Perez Torres to move into 6th place.
It's your boy JJ. Josiah Jerome celebrating his 14th birthday next November.
14, really?
At least 14, right? Does he get he lives in Texas. I think they're going to give him, like, lots of guns when he becomes a man.
I mean, I believe that is the ritual. Ariel's a little bit off the pace here for where he normally is. So I do hope that he's just getting familiar with the track and fine-tuning some setup issues, because he's normally a pretty quick guy, and to be 2 seconds off of Stoffmill's pace, I mean, that's kind of my ballpark. That's where I'm shooting for normally. Although on this track, it would be probably sufficiently low. More Silverstone being an over 2-minute track. Pretty long lap. I mean, it's not Nordschleife or anything. Please God.
Thugschleife.
Please God, do not choose the Nordschleife.
Thugschleife. Did you see that? The super track that Martin posted? Somebody had taken, I don't know how many, like 5 or 6 big tracks and put them all together into one, like, super, like, 25-mile long track. That
was fairly disastrous, in my opinion, but
I would be much in favor of that.
Slightly faster lap there from Ariel. He moves to within 2 seconds of the leader, 1.983 off the pace. And there is our boy JJ, Josiah Jerome, heading out to try to set a lap time. He has not posted a lap yet. In the chat, we got Felipe Fejea. Go, Felipe.
Boy F squared.
Mm-hmm.
Felipe El Picante Fertada Fejea.
The man who almost killed me at Monza, and I retaliated by almost killing him at Silverstone. Oh, no.
I'm gonna run the goalie.
Fairness to Silverstone was not my fault. That was Vinnie Roberts making a rare judgment error.
Well, I mean, he was high on angel dust at the time.
We have James Butler on our screen here for the Space Racing team. Or S.Pace Racing? I don't know. I'm going with Space Racing.
Space Race.
Actually, before I forget, I will turn on the driver flags, because everyone's in an Audi, so that brand marker is not really telling us anything.
Correct.
There we go.
Felipe says he'll be back racing soon. I assume that's what he means by be back soon. I hope he hasn't left us already.
I do hope so.
I haven't seen Felipe race in quite a while.
Haven't seen Felipe on the track, yeah. Missed him. He's a guy that I always enjoy battling with. And the few times I get there, because sometimes he's just way faster than I am. But sometimes he's back there with me, and it leads to some good fights.
Word on the street that he is currently trying to organize a coup in his country. So, I mean, a little busy.
A little busy trying to become the dictator for life of Portugal?
Correct.
Josiah Jerome up to 6th place with his first lap. So solid opening lap for Mr. Josiah Jerome. I suspect he will only get faster.
It's usually the case until everything falls apart on his desk.
On a bad note, Martin Edmonds down in 8th place. What's up, Martin? Not looking so good there. Hopefully he,
obviously having a hangover from all the gravy and cheese curds.
Hopefully he finds a little bit more pace than that. This is a slightly confusing track because there's 2 start-finish lines. Because there are 2 different... There's a historical layout, and then there's the newer layout. And they start at completely different points on the track. So it's always a bit weird to know where the start-finish line is. So if I incorrectly identify the end of a lap, that is why.
Yeah, sorry, Felipe. We didn't mean to out you as the ringleader of the Rebel Alliance. Almost said Rebel Alliance. I'm not sure why.
The Rebel Alliance.
The Hebel Alliance.
Here we are. Get those H's in there.
Hebels?
Want to fight the Hebels? We're going to send him to Uncle Hanash.
Hanash Larange. Gonna go to the Hawk and Hole concert.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Hawk and Hole concert. My bad. Trying to get these pronunciations correct.
Shout out to Damian Maya for his victory over Ben Askren earlier
Hell yeah.
in Singapore.
Choked that bitch to death.
Was apparently losing up until that point, but that is how MMA goes.
Oh, I'm so hurt. Get in my guard.
No, that's the oh shit, who was it that did that to Oscar Pichota? Whoever fought Oscar Pichota last in the UFC did that. I have not seen that in the UFC in so long, and he just ate this uppercut and just like stumbled backwards and oh, I'm so hurt. Oh, get in my guard.
We're gonna give you a twister. Oh no, my beverage is empty. It's a good thing I have more beverage accoutrements right here in this cooler.
Indeed, I just refilled the 2-liter bottle from last live podcast with water. Not been feeling my best
water,
today,
do you mean like fire water?
No, it's just water. I've not been feeling terribly my best today. I went through like 7 hours of indigestion last night. It was not fun.
Drink half a bottle of Pepto and start hitting the tequila.
I mean, Pepto would not have been a bad idea. Still haven't quite got my body reset from the BC excursion, so mostly because I have not been trying to. So I should probably actually try to do that.
Or just move out here.
I mean, I told Sean the same thing I'll tell you. You guys find me a job out there, and I'm there. That's
I know somebody who actually operates a financial office.
Mm-hmm. Actually, there's no moving until I settle my settle the whole court case in regards to my mom's accident.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
Mm-hmm. Got a meeting about that on Monday, so that'll be that'll be fun.
Well, just do like I usually do, is go in and chop the desk in half with an axe and then establish dominance.
I mean, me, it's just more or less I'm gonna do the head shave and get myself presentable.
Darken your eyebrows.
They are plenty dark. They reflect the colorlessness of my soul. Super Dragon, a man who is so black, his soul is leaking from his pores. Excalibur 2015.
I was gonna say, is that verifiable?
It is verifiable.
Fair enough. I've never seen Super Dragon without all the get-up.
He's pretty white, actually.
It's fair enough. El Blanco. El Caballo del Blanco. Today's broadcast brought to you by Gin and Tonic.
Mm-hmm. Josiah with the personal best in the first sector, but about 7/10 off of Stop Mill. So Mike Stop Mill has absolutely hit that first sector, and it may owe him money at this point.
Correct. Oh, you know what? We got a couple of new guys in chat. I could whip out my random giraffe fact, and it would be hot and exciting to a new audience. No, I mean, anybody watching this back later has already heard it like 3 times.
True. Right now we only have Chris in the chat. I think Felipe's heard the giraffe stuff. Felipe, shout out if you got the giraffe facts or not. And not such
Chris
a great second sector
looked
for
into
Josiah.
Juggalo makeup. Oh, probably in reference to your
Super Dragon.
dressing up. No, for the court case.
Oh, for the court case. Well, we're not at the
Go
court.
in as a Juggalo.
We're not at the court level yet. We're just meeting up with the lawyer on Monday.
That seems fair. It seems a little overblown for just a lawyer.
To be honest,
Especially if he's your lawyer.
I mean, he's not my lawyer. He's everyone's lawyer in the case. So he's my uncle's lawyer. He's my brother's lawyer. He's my sister's lawyer. My sister's
an arbitrator.
My sister is a classy person, sir. Kyle, not so much.
That's not true.
But that's neither here nor there. Mike Stockmill seems to be slowing down here, so maybe out of gas, or maybe just kind of cooling the tires down. Number of possibilities there. These Audi TTs do have a tendency to heat the front tires up a fair bit, and it does make you want to cool them down a little bit. Josiah Jerome with only about 6/10 off in the first sector, so he's getting faster through there. Needs to
close he's getting faster. He actually posted up earlier in chat. I'll see if I can pull up where he posted on Discord here. What was he running previously?
Appears to be running in the 208s at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know. What was it? 208.688 was what he was running, and so he had a 208.6 flat on the best lap. So he's actually improved since practice earlier.
Excellent. So he is on the way. Oh, pretty good second sector. He's if he can keep third sector pretty solid, he might have. I mean, he won't move up because he's a little bit too far off Christopher Streppen to really take a position, but he could solidify that 5th place heading into qualification, which will begin in about 2 minutes here.
I'd also like to start for the record that there's some spicy fucking gifts going on in the Enduro chat before they went live.
That's good.
Zerai was asking if we were going to do it live, and here we are.
Here we are. As coming across the line there with a 208.7 for Josiah. No improvement on his time there. And Chris is asking about pit stops. There will be pit stops in the race. We're just in practice mode right now.
Yeah, we're doing practice first, and then qualifying, and then the race. So pit stops aren't really a thing until the race actually is about halfway over.
Correct. John Barker on track. About a second off in the first sector. Hopefully he can improve. He's a little while off the pace there at 4.2 off a pole. I'm hoping we have more cars than this. Do we have more cars? Only 12 cars. A bit of a light showing for the Enduro. So guys, get out for the Enduro. It's a good time. And you get live commentary.
Indeedly-doo. I'm getting like random text messages specifically right now, and I don't know why. I guess not so random. One of my homies linked me up to a Radiohead song that I am not familiar with, and my mother sent me a text, which I have not read, but I probably should. I'd be a bad person if I don't read my mom's text. Okay, I'll read it. I'm not going to read it out loud, though.
Yep.
So, I mean, screw you hippies.
Did you kindly thank your mom for the food for when I was there?
No! I told her you didn't like it and that you vomited everywhere.
That's a lie on both accounts. It was delicious.
I did tell her that it was a big hit.
Excellent. I mean, the ribs were the highlight, not gonna lie, but it was all delicious. And that and the various burger places that me and Martin and then later me and Sean found and enjoyed.
We do have this very exotic and very niche burger place called A&W. Or W, my bad.
I would like to thank Carl, who I met while at prepping for Sean's wedding. He helped me with the arch, I helped him with the arch more. He deserves the credit. And he introduced me to Vera's, which was absolutely delicious. Fantastic.
You got a probably 90% chance of getting an awesome burger at any place named after a single woman.
That's true.
Well, not single as in marriage, but like a single female name on the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Martha's or anything like that.
Pretty true. I can't say that I've had an experience that contradicts your logic, sir. It is unassailable. Mr. Christopher
I don't know if I
Streppen
go
there
to any
is...
place called Bertha's, though.
That might be a bit weird. Christopher Streppen getting really, really up close to Mike Stockmill's bumper. I don't know if that's actually all that advisable in qualifying. He's got to be getting some dirty air there. So he might actually want to let off the gas a little bit and let Stockmill open a gap. Words I never thought I'd be saying. If we're 500, please.
Chris is also a big fan of Vera's, so there you go.
There we go.
Double certified.
Double certified. They have none of them out here, unfortunately.
Well, no, it's high quality. You can't have that.
We have high quality, but it's unfortunately very pricey.
Don't lie to me. It's Ontario. It's a wasteland. It's like Mad Max, but with poor service.
That's the north of Ontario. Gonna make the audience very hungry.
Well, I just keep talking about my ribs. I mean,
they were absolutely delicious. They were simplification personified in delicious excellence.
Simple Jack, the ribs. Coming to theaters.
Indeed. They were absolutely delicious.
It's not complicated. Secret ingredient is thyme and wood smoke.
Alright, Zarai Garunian is going to be the guy who sets the pace here early on. He has completed his first sector there at a 37.752 and is now in Sector 2 of the track. There are 3 sectors for those who are unaware of how a lap works. And they roughly divide up into 1/3 of the lap each, but not always the case. For example, we were doing a racetrack recently where Sector 1 was like 50 seconds and the entire lap was $1.20, and it was like, damn. So Sector 1 is most of the lap. Okay.
Yeah, when I'm doing Trackmania tracks, I try and break it up evenly if I can. Mr. Chris wants to know exactly where in Ontario you're from. Feel free to disclose or not, or just lie. No
the Greater Toronto area, specifically Mississauga.
You're from Mississippi.
I mean, Mississippi would be more redneck. Alright, Zarai into the 3rd sector. He is still being shown as purple, but of course with no lap times on the board, that doesn't mean a lot. We'll see what time he puts up here to set the pace early. Should be done pretty quick soon. This is the final little bit of the lap here, the chicane. And heading to the start-finish straight now. So he comes around and puts an early time in of 1:07.62 or 2:07.623. Zarai Garunian to the front. Mike Stockmill instantly takes that despite being held up by one of the...
Garunian to the front, snatch.
Indeed. Even being held up by John Barker was not enough to stop Mike Stockmill from saying, "This is my pole. This is where I live.
This is my pole. I dance on it."
James Butler comes across the line. Fran Machuca comes across the line. Machuca 7th. Butler in 9th. Here comes Javi Pete, 10th place.
That's what you get for choosing the Chargers.
Indeed.
Ismael Montoya still doesn't post a lap time.
Oh, so we got Ismael. That's good. Here comes Wayne Hutchinson to post his first lap time. Looks like he should be a threat for a solid top 10 at the moment, and comes across the line. 9th place. Ooh, so not a very good third sector there from Wayne Hutchinson. Lost a lot of time. Here is Josiah Jerome. He's got a personal best in Sector 1 within a half second of pole. Very nice. Should be coming towards the end of Sector 2 relatively shortly. And we'll get a better idea of where he might be able to put this lap. Also, no lap time from Ariel Zatoni yet. So, I believe that's him in the background, actually, that we're looking at Josiah in the Molar Bill blue car.
The Wolf Boy has joined chat, the luckiest Wolf Boy there ever done been, and he agrees with my pole dancing analogy and requires more of that.
What up, Paul? And Josiah, within a second as to the end of the second sector here, this could be pretty good. Might be looking at a top 5 time here from Josiah Jerome if he can put together a good third sector.
Correct. Zatoni and Montoya have not.
Ooh, that is
not yet.
That is not going to help him, though. He comes across... He hit the curb a little bit hard there and gave a salute to the crowd. I think this will probably compromise the lap and ruin it as far as improving the time. And I am correct on that. He's about 2/10 off his own time there at the
end. You blew it!
You blew it, Josiah. Javi P with a personal best in Sector 2. He's coming towards the line now. Let's see if he can improve on his 12th place time. And the answer is yes, he slips past James Butler into 11th place.
Correct.
Javi P, congratulations on your promotion to Silver Driver.
The White Whale!
Indeed. The Odin Kirchen car.
Not to be confused with Inigo Montoya.
Mm-hmm.
Did you race his father? Prepare to die.
Christopher Streppen with a personal best in Sector 1. So let's see if he can do some improvements here.
Oh, so Paul managed to call you fat and exclude me from polite society all in one line.
A solid play.
He said, good evening, gentlemen, and Byron. Oh, since it's just the two of us, he thinks you compromise 2 whole gentlemen, at least 2, minimum 2, and that I am an uncouth barbarian, all of which is true. Maybe not the fat part. It's kind of egg-shaped, but I mean, eggplant-shaped, but not egg-shaped. It's not all round.
Jesus Christ.
And then, like, axes me through the brain, through the internet. Hey, your boy Zaducci's showed up. Can't remember. That's not Zerai. Zerai's racing. Which Z guy?
That's Zoltan.
Oh, Zoltan. I keep fucking that up. Like, I get confused with the 2 different. Zoltan and Zerai should definitely form a team. And they could be
the absolute
Zorro Racing.
The Zorro of Eastern Europe.
Correct.
I am wishing all the best to Zoltan in the upcoming 3D Speed season, as he is going to be teaming with Paul Riccobene.
Oh my goodness.
So, you know, remind Paul that he has to put gas in the car. He's not good about that. So you got to remind him.
It'll be hilarious. We need to record one of these with, like, all of the crowd noise and everything, but every single car audio thing turned all the way off, and then just claim they're electric.
Yeah, no, I can expose you. I can expose you to a Formula E or Jaguar E Cup race if you want. They are loud. It's a buzzing sound that drives you insane.
This just sound like the world's biggest thunderstorm.
I wouldn't. It doesn't sound like a thunderstorm. That would sound infinitely cooler than what it sounds like. It sounds. It's just buzzing. It's just buzzing.
Hilarious. When do we get the hovercraft mod? Can you imagine the cornering on S-turns in a hovercraft?
That would be horrifying.
The hovercraft. Zoltan is cheering hard for Paul. I don't think we have a single Paul in this race, which I appreciate. Cheer harder for the Paul.
Indeed,
Paul, because he was cheering for Riccobene pretty hard, and then Riccobene would crash every single time.
It just kept ending bad.
It was pretty hilarious. And so maybe if he cheers hard enough, Paul will come crashing through like the Kool-Aid Man and just win the race.
Yeah. Just randomly come flying out of the pits at the end and be like, "I win!"
Yeah.
By the way, Mike Stopmill currently with 2 purple sectors on the board. Purple is good for those not in the know on the color coding. A purple sector is the fastest of all sectors. So let's see if Mike Stopmill can improve upon his time and secure that pole position a little bit more here with about 3.5 minutes to go in qualifying.
Stuffmill is on record with having the most purple-headed yogurt slingers.
Indeed. He is purple all the way through and puts a new fastest lap down.
Ha-cha-cha. Is that a BMW?
It's an Audi.
Oh, okay. We have a pretty strong Portuguese contingent here, based on the fact that the only other country we have represented twice is Canada. So it's Canada, and Britain, my bad. So it's Canada versus Britain versus Portugal.
Spain.
None of you are going to win.
We have no Portuguese drivers. Do you not know what the Portuguese flag looks like?
Possibly not. Oh, yeah, right.
This is the Spanish flag.
I don't know why. I just assumed it was red and blue and white, just like everything else in Europe. Don't know why I did that. Some awesome work, brain.
Spain is the mustard and ketchup flag.
That's the joke. I know that they're all Audis, but I don't know much about actual car models. And in racing formats, they change the bodies around, so I can have an even harder time telling them apart.
He crashed into that
man!
Cars are ghosted in the pit lane, so you can drive right through them. I'm just telling anyone who doesn't know.
What Chris doesn't know is I have a whole website that gives me live feeds as to everything in there. All Audis listed by model on my page, even though Mike turned it off on the live broadcast because he's a dick.
They're all Audis. The flag was more useful.
Rochelle's in the chat. What up? Yeah, pit stop and qualifying. I think they all gave up because they can't. Well, there's less than 2 minutes to go, so if you're not already on a hot lap, you might as well just park it and give yourself a rest.
Which is true. You can't get another lap time in, so yeah. But you can also press the escape key. In fairness.
Oh shit! Zoltan's cheering for James Butler today. So we'll see how far that curse carries. You don't mess with the Zoltan, but Zoltan might mess with you.
You don't want him cheering for you. Is Josiah going to be able to get a lap time done here? The answer is, I think, a solid no. So he's just putting more time on the track to get a better feel.
He went a little wide on that one there.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit there. This is a really, actually very challenging track, so that'll be interesting to go here. So we have some preliminary results, but there is about 30 seconds left on the board. Mike Stopmill, Kirill Vega, Christopher Streppin, Zerai Garunian, Martin Edmonds, Josiah Jerome, Ariel Zatoni, Wayne Hutchison, Fran Bachuca, John Barker, Javi Perez-Torres, James Butler, and Ishmael Montoya. Your grid.
See.
And that is everybody, so there are no... By the way, Ishmael Montoya, a little bit off the pace. Normally he's a bit closer to the front of the pack, so... Could be interesting to see him coming from the back of the pack. See what he can do.
He's sandbagging.
I mean, that's always possible. I think it's more likely that he just didn't get a good lap in.
So if James crashes on the first turn, we know exactly who's to blame on this one.
There's a level of truth to that. We await the forming up of the grid here. A couple of cars still missing.
I think they should all have vertical stacks coming out the hoods.
The vertical stacks are great for engine power, but not so much for aerodynamics.
Well, I'm sure they can fix that somehow.
I mean, there's probably a way.
It's science.
Well, if you haven't joined the grid, you're being forced to join the grid, so here we go. We got red lights, and we are...
Still red
going! As they head towards turn 1, it looks like Mike Stockmill has gotten off to a solid start there. He is trailed by Christopher Streppin, who's gotten off to a pretty good start, overtaking Carol Vega. Zerai Garunian's also going to get Vega, I think, and Vega slips back to 4th place after a
fucking
start.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, nice comeback. Drink. Vega holds on to 3rd place against Garunian. Martin Edmonds is rounding off the top 5 at the moment.
Would you like to explain all the racing drinking rules?
If you would like to, go ahead, please.
I don't remember them. I was asking if you would.
So we have drinking rules. We have whenever the commentator refers to themselves in the 3rd person, whenever the commentator refers to a fellow commentator in the 3rd person, which shouldn't happen today, but normally is a thing.
Oh, because I'm not racing and you're not racing.
Exactly. You drink. Other drinking rules include if someone goes for an overtake and instantly loses it the next corner, that's a drink. If a car has obvious physical damage, that's a drink. And I think these really are only solid ones. We've had some other ones that have been kind of workshopped and brought to the table, but they have not necessarily been endorsed by the international drinking community.
Here's one. What if you get overtaken by someone with the same livery?
I like that.
Feel free in chat to propose further drinking rules.
Indeed, we are always open to additional drinking rules that can make things happen. Other potential drinking rules: when someone runs out of gas, you drink because their car didn't drink enough.
If someone runs out of gas, you have to finish your drink just like they finished their gas tank.
That's true. You need to guzzle it. But if something has happened to Fran Machuca, he's way off the back of everybody. So, not sure what's going on there. He isn't showing any damage. So maybe just an off was the problem there.
Possibly true. If the broadcasters bitch about cutting away from a battle, possibly have a sip.
Oh, that'll get people drunk.
I'm not saying a full drink. I'm just saying maybe have a sip if you want.
Joe, it looks like Ariel Zatoni in the background and Josiah Jerome had a little bit of a side-by-side action going on there for a bit, so it'd be interesting to see what those two can do for 6th place. Wayne Hutchinson in 8th, John Barker and Ishmael Montoya rounding off the top 10.
Chris has got to go. He wishes us he said it was fun. We wish him all the best, and perhaps he will be able to see purple tomorrow.
A pleasure to see you on the stream there, Chris. I do not share my co-commentator's optimism for your ability to see purple tomorrow.
I always hope for the best, man. I mean, I hope that Chris can see purples. I hope that Zoltan can cheer for somebody who won't explode.
That would be ideal.
I mean, to be fair, James has not really lost any ground. So, I mean, there you go.
You got a point there. In fact, he is up a spot into 11th place, having overtaken Javi B.
Yeah, Javi P, not sure what's going on there. Apparently, he visited his local apothecary the previous evening and may or may not have sedated himself.
He may be very relaxed, is what you're perhaps saying?
Possibly. Also, Sean Kenny not racing today because he has pets, which is kind of lame.
It happened.
And he's also not on chat, so I mean,
it's better than Eric Friesen's bum leg keeping him from racing.
Hey, I mean, to be fair, he did spin kick 32 terrorists in a row, and therefore his leg exploded.
In fact, world peace is owed entirely to Eric Friesen's destroying his leg.
Correct. He's a hero, and I will not hear a bad word spoken against him, unless, of course, he's a My Little Pony fan, in which case, throw him in the jail.
I mean, it's possible. He is a Crayon Vomit fan.
Yeah, but it's usually tasteful. It's not garish.
Josiah Jerome up on the back of Martin Edmonds here. This is 5th and 6th place. Ariel Zatoni right behind them. And then it is Wayne Hutchinson. Ishmael Montoya is closing in on John Barker, so it looks like that'll be a fight for 9th for the foreseeable future. And whatever happened with Fran Machuca has fixed itself because he has stabilized the gap and is closing on Javi P.
Dun, 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 dun.
And of course, Fran is the master of the bizarre pit stop strategies, so that could be fun.
Put like 2 drops of gas in the car, immediately took a pit stop. That's why he's 20 seconds behind.
Could be.
I was going for the hot start, didn't work.
Didn't work. Was unable to make it work. Stop mill watch up to 0.8 of a second out in front. Verstappen seems to be unable to keep with his rival from the Netherlands, neighboring country.
I don't know. 3 laps and it's not over 2 seconds. It's pretty good.
And there is Ishmael Montoya, who I feel is probably going to be able to get past John Barker here in the near future. It seems like he is the faster of these 2 drivers, despite his poor qualifying effort.
Well,
Go Josiah!
I say bereft.
I mean, that works too. Cheering for Josiah Jerome and Wayne Hutchinson here today. Go, go, go.
Good old Hutchin stuff.
And of course, Mike Stockmill, because otherwise he won't love me and give me his setup. That's his one approval.
Everybody knows he's just a sideways Frenchman anyway.
Ooh, the Dutch do not take kindly to those words.
I know. That's the joke. What's he gonna do? Drive on up here and eat ribs with me?
Well, I mean, he's Dutch, so he'll probably appear randomly behind you and axe kick you in the head.
In a puff of marijuana smoke?
Yes.
Ninja! Whoa, what got dank in here?
Things got all colorful.
Hey. Hey, buddy, what's up?
And then the axe kick.
Tornado axe kick.
Came in here in a puff of smoke, and he was yelling, and then he axe kicked me, and then he had a heart attack.
So they're both coffee-flavored coffee.
I'm glad he's dead, I really am.
Oh, I just came up with the best idea. And I'm not telling you what it is, but I might need to talk to Jesse.
It's always good to talk to Jesse. Jesse is trying to work on the spectator mode, by the way, for us to get a smaller race map, so I can have it up all the time during the broadcast.
Oh, nice.
That'd be nice.
That would be dope as hell.
Because, of course, those who are unaware, when you turn on the race map, it is everywhere.
Yeah. I just need, like, in the bottom right or left corner. Give me a general map of where we are on the track, and if I'm looking at Josiah, where the fuck am I on the track looking at him?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know these tracks at all. As far as I know, we're in New Zealand, Showerhurst, doing somersaults.
We are very unlikely to race in New Zealand. I think I can only name one New Zealand track, which is Lake Taupo.
Neat.
And that I don't think is licensed in any game. I have raced on it, but it was a modded like version of it for Race 07 back in the day.
Which is not the same as the Greek track, Lake Tapas.
I would laugh if there actually. I would laugh if there was actually a track named Lake Tapas.
Correct.
To my knowledge, there is not, but there may be. Ishmael Montoya has gotten through on John Barker and left him for dead. Whoa! So, after qualifying dead last, Montoya got some hops. He's got hoop dreams, coach.
Getting it. Your boy Machuca not catching up in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, he's clawed back, what, 5 seconds to Javi P?
He's lost 4 seconds.
He was at one point 11 seconds back.
Well, he's long ways back.
He is a long ways back. That I will not dispute. And we ride on board with Javi P, who is on the back end of James Butler here in a battle for 11th place.
You're looking at the website read. I got you. I'm just looking at the actual race and it says plus 27, 28. I'm like, that's a long ways back.
Oh, he's been more or less that far back the whole time.
Yeah. Well, it was my plus 24 for a while. But yeah. I see what you're saying. I'm looking at the actual thing, the differential on the website.
You can also turn that on your screen by turning on, if you click on the gear, you can turn on relative timing. Show relative standings times. So that may help. Because right now what you're looking at is the gap to Mike Stockmill.
Yeah, no, I got that. So that's what threw me off.
Mm-hmm. Javi P threw on James Butler for 11th position. So Javi on the chart. Fran Machuca catching up to both of them. So that could be interesting in the near future. Martin Edmonds still putting the pressure on against Josiah Jerome. Actually, I think it's Josiah Jerome's up into 5th place. We missed that at some point. The Dominican Nightmare. The Dominican Nightmare has overtaken the Poutine Master.
The Tropical Depression. Yeah, okay, so that makes a lot more sense with the time differential on.
And I just realized one of Martin's sponsors on his car is Fujitsu, so that's fun.
Ninjutsu.
There's Wayne Hutchinson, currently in 8th place, keeping up nicely with Ariel Zatoni. And Wayne is a guy who can make things interesting with the strategy. He is a guy who did an entire endurance race without pitting, for example, which was insane. And that could always prove to be interesting down the stretch.
I heard that he used a legal tire compound that is only utilized in backstreet alleys in China.
That's a hell of an illegal compound.
Even regular China doesn't use this. It's backstreet alleys only.
I mean, the backstreet alleys are where you find the good stuff in China.
Speaking of China, apparently they got kicked out of their own World Military Games for blatant and flagrant cheating. Hilarious.
That's impressive.
Yeah, you're in China doing your own military games and you get kicked out.
That's a level of cheatery that I just don't know if I've ever seen before.
Incomprehensible.
And one of Wayne Hutchinson's sponsors is Steinberg, so that's cool.
Steinmetz.
Fran Machuca going down the inside of Javier Perez Torres. So Javi at some points lost the spot back to James Butler, and is now dead last with Fran Machuca getting past.
Correct. Now I'm just dicking around with all these extra options you showed me here.
Mm-hmm.
I got the indented focused driver.
That helps. That helps a lot. Yes.
I didn't know any of these were a thing.
I don't use a ton of them. I think the only real differences I use are the relative time standings, and then you can flip between flag or manufacturer badge. I have noticed that the show commentator names thing is not working in 1.9, so that's a little disappointing. Our names are not on the screen, Byron.
I mean, I feel as though we put ourselves over enough that it's not necessary, but I'm always willing to take
You can never be too over.
Correct. He killed a man! Yeah, but he's over.
It's over. He gets away with it. Fran Machuca, by the way, is overtaking James Butler and is up to 11th position.
Oh, thanks, Zoltan. Dick.
In the meantime, Ishmael Montoya, the other Spaniard, is on the charge and lining up for a possible overtake of Wayne Hutchinson. We are on board with the Spanish driver now, who I notice, to our great endorsement here, does not flash his headlights at everyone anymore. That's ideal.
that button binding.
That was something that we made fun of him at great length in his first race with us.
That was pretty hilarious. I think, what was it, like his gas pedal fused to his blinkers?
No, it was his push to talk.
Oh, yeah, right.
So every time he was talking on the Spanish server, he was flashing his headlight at people.
You put the madre! And then the blinkety blink.
Had a guy like that on a random server the other day who was just, I don't even think it was a binding. I think he was flashing his headlights at me, and it got to the point where I was racing with Tom Waz. Shout out to Tom, the Poland pinball, and eventually I'm just like, I think this guy is trying to communicate with me in Morse code via his headlights.
Eat a dick. Get out of my way.
Oh, that's not nice. Solid battle here going on for 6th place between Martin Edmonds, Ariel Zatoni, Wayne Hutchison, and Ishmael Montoya. Fantastic charge to the grid so far for Montoya. Started the race in P13 and he's up to P9. Javi P has overtaken James Butler and is out of last place.
Well, now I think we can totally blame Zoltan as the big old curse.
Zoltan the big curse. Montoya on the tail of Wayne Hutchinson, trying to acquire another position. He's gotten close, but he doesn't seem to have the pace delta to make an overtake happen here quite yet. He is going down the inside, looking for it though. He's got it! He's got it! Ishmael Montoya is through and into 8th place. Come on, Wayne, fight back.
Put him in the wall!
We here at ESR do not endorse put him in the wall, but Byron and Travis certainly do.
Hell yeah! Where is Travis?
He had a race at 3 a.m. this morning, so I think that may have precluded him participating in this one.
He was racing when I went to bed. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Had some, I believe, iRacing events, so that maybe that is on his channel now. You can check it out.
Is that some of that Darcy Park and Structure guy racing that I see on the Discords?
Yes.
We have Phil Tat joined us. What up? Not sure if you're a racer I'm familiar with. If not, I don't really care. Say some cool stuff and we'll respond.
Say some stuff. Identify yourself if you wish. Ariel Zatoni getting a little bit wide there, and Ishmael Montoya is maybe giving a little sniff up the inside. Maybe saying 8th place is nice, but 7th is really where I want to be right now. Ishmael Montoya, of course, a protege of Mr. Fran Machuca.
Woo!
Along with Academy top contender Jordan Alcolia.
Academy Award winner.
Not quite there yet. Not quite there yet, but maybe next season. I expect big things from Jordan as a top runner next season.
Jason Jordan?
That would be amusing if it was Jason Jordan.
Apparently his neck is just done.
Oh, it is done. I've heard this. Montoya lining up for the outside move on Ariel Zatoni, who has gone defensive to the inside. I don't think that's going to work out, and it does not. And almost opened the door there for Wayne Hutchinson to strike back and try and get back into 8th place on Montoya. So Montoya held back for the time being. This is all playing in the hands of Martin Edmonds, who's opening up a little bit of a gap from Ariel Zatoni at this point, and is getting a little safer there in 6th position. Josiah Jerome putting the pressure on Zerai Garunian right now.
Apparently, Felt Hat plays a bunch of racing games with abbreviations I'm not totally familiar with, but you probably would be. And somebody posted the link on Discord, so he's here. It's fun to him, and I would encourage him to check it out. There's a link there in the description to the Discord. You can sign up, partake, participate, put people in the wall. I'll say cool things about you on commentary.
He plays Race Room Experience with the race department community. I do not know what RFRO is, though. I'm assuming that's another community. And that's probably all I can really say on the matter.
Correct. So yeah, sign up, sign in, tune in, and drop out. I mean, no, wait, don't do that last thing. Eat your half of the sunshine acid. Take Mike's silence as endorsing the usage of sunshine acid.
Well, I was trying to check out what's up with James Butler, and the answer is he is missing some bodywork, some things, some stuff. He is sans a front end. I was trying to figure out why he was 45 seconds behind Javi P. No disrespect, Javi P, but I feel like that's an inordinately large gap. And I have my answer, and it's his car is very damaged at this point. So I wonder if perhaps Javi P snatched a bumper.
All things are possible in the fullness of time.
In the meantime, Josiah.
Zoltan cursed him so hard, parts of his car just flew apart.
Indeed, I'm looking at the time, and unfortunately, I don't really think he can work a pit stop in for fuel right now, which would be ideal, because if he could hit the pits, get the gas, and fix the damage, that would probably be the best case scenario, but I don't really know if that's an option right now. And Josiah Jerome all over the back of Zerai Garunian. Shout out to Josiah, racing on, let's say, 8 frames a second.
I believe 8 frames a second would put him over budget. Again, if anybody has any sophisticated race gear they would like to donate to anybody, give it to Josiah, because we'd like to see him beat Stoffmill 83 weeks in a row. It would be hilarious.
It's not the race gear that he needs, it's just the computer.
Oh, well, I mean, whatever.
RAM, video cards, an internet connection, anything, gentlemen.
Rachel says that's a compromised Aereo equipment for the Boutelier.
I would agree.
And I would not disagree, even if I was a weirdo. Which I am.
He still has not come in the pits to fix that, and I would...
It seems odd.
I would advise it. I mean, racing... I mean, unless he thinks he can get to his pit window shortly, but we're less than a half hour into the race, so, like, it's a long way off.
Yeah.
I think at this point, you're better off just going with a two-stop strategy. As Ariel Zatoni looks to go around the outside of Martin Edmonds. It does not work, but I applaud the bravery. Especially Martin's tendency...
Martin would literally throw poutine out the window to blind you.
Indeed. Martin's tires are probably suffering at this point already. That's how bad he is with the tires. So Edmonds continues to be the walking chicane for Ariel Zatoni and Ishmael Montoya, and that's keeping Wayne Hutchinson in the fight, so I appreciate that.
I just had a thought. It might be hilarious if I just drop in on the Discord channel where they're racing and then pretend like I don't know what I'm doing. And just, commentate on the whole thing the entire time.
I don't know if that would end well.
Banned!
you might get the James Dolan speech.
Was it like the Dolan Duck speech?
So James Dolan is the owner of the New York Knicks. And the joke in Game of Zones is that he bans everyone who disagrees with him. So, like, there was an episode where they're doing the draft thing, and one of the players is like, Kristaps Porzingis is like, you'll just trade him for like a second round draft pick and Dennis Schroeder, and Dolan gets up and goes, "You sir are banned from the Garden." And Adam Silver, the deputy commissioner of the league, is like, "You cannot ban opposing players from your arena." And he goes, "Oh, I can't, can I? You are banned, Adam! You are banned from the Garden!"
Good old Gadden.
It's also a pretty good episode to watch because Vlade Divac tries to give a speech about why the Sacramento Kings should get the first overall draft pick. And he's like, House Kings should get the first overall draft pick. And then Adam Silver goes, no, that would actually belong to the Atlanta Hawks. Okay, so House Kings should get the second draft pick. They're like, no, that would actually belong to House Mavs. He's like, who made that trade? Oh, right, I made that trade.
God damn it. I've been watching a lot of videos from SB Nation on YouTube about, like, beef and collapses and dumb shit.
Those are fun. Those are fun.
Wildly hilarious.
It's great. I recommend
all the players that messed with LeBron and got orched.
Yeah, it doesn't really work. So Zatoni's still on the tail of Martin Edmonds, and he's got Ishmael Montoya right behind him, so the pressure is on for Mr. Zatoni at this point. Ariel is looking to form a all-Spanish-speaking team for 3D Speed. That could be interesting. Probably a good idea, actually.
Hey, your boy Chris is back. Chris, quick update. Mike Stoffmill has doubled his lead.
He's actually only about 4 seconds ahead, surprisingly enough. 3.9. We actually...
Yeah, but he's within 2 seconds for the majority of the race.
That's true. We haven't really had to do much in the way of a stop mill watch, actually, up until this point.
Well, I mean, it's usually entertaining for the early going, and then through the middle third, and then it's just kind of like, oh yeah, by the end, oh yeah, he's like 19 seconds ahead. Who cares?
We're approaching about the 1/3 mark of the race at this point. And we got some good battles going on here. Some good stuff going on. Josiah Jerome's fighting with Zerai Garunian. We've got this four-way fight between Martin Edmonds, Ariel Zatoni, Ishmael Montoya, and Wayne Hutchinson. And Fran Machuca is up on the back of John Barker. So that'll be developing into something pretty soon. James Butler's still not in the pits. Come on, James. Come on. Get in the pit lane. Fix that front end.
Get in my guard.
Get in my guard. My guard is a dangerous place. It's a kill box.
Correct. It's the kill box, though.
I'll tell you who was smart enough not to get in someone's guard. Cub Swanson didn't get into Cron Gracie's guard. It was a good call.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big old red flag.
Fortunately, I picked Cron Gracie to win that fight, so... My faith...
Listen.
It was really more of an indictment of my faith in Cub Swanson than any faith in Cron Gracie.
Listen, never bet against Cub Swanson when it's a regular match, but if it's a big fight, then he's gonna lose.
Are you kidding me? Dude had a competitive fight with Artem Lobov.
I don't know what that means, but I think that smells like some Irish fuckboy.
That is an Irish fuckboy. I mean, he's a Russian fuckboy who lives in Ireland, which makes him an Irish fuckboy. Josiah's been up under the bumper of Zerai Garunian for some time. Needs to maybe make a statement here, make him work, make him think about him a bit more to try to make something happen, because they are dropping back of Kirill Vega in that last podium spot.
Give him the full Gregory Hines.
I mean, that's an option.
Little tap, tap, taparoo.
It's an option. Oh!
And everybody going to go out in there and play the gravel.
Yeah, Martin Edmonds getting a little bit wide there. We'll see if Ariel Zatoni can capitalize. Really like this camera view here through the S's. Very nice. Just a quick look at the fastest lap so far. It is a 2:07.9. Would you care to guess by whom?
Go figure.
Mike Stuffman.
What?
Zatoni now under a lot of pressure from Montoya, and you can see some puffs of smoke coming up in the braking zones from Martin. That's not going to be great for his tires. We know Martin historically struggles with tire management.
Correct. Josiah has indeed improved his lap time versus previous practice and official practice, and now in the race.
Correct.
And qualifying.
2:08.4. Very nice. Zatoni trying to go around the outside again, but Edmonds has got that solid defensive line, and he's just not letting the Argentine have any real sniff at that right now. And there comes a point where Ariel's going to have to make a decision here if he wants to conserve tires or continue to go on the hard attack against Martin Edmonds, who he's not had any success getting around yet. Martin again going super defensive into the S's. I don't think that was the S's, actually. My mistake.
You are the worst.
As James Butler is starting to be lapped by the leaders.
Sir, I'm afraid I'm going to have to downgrade you for being officially real cheese people.
I have always been real cheese people.
You, sir, have disgraced the realness of the cheese people.
I am such real cheese people that I made an NHL team in Wisconsin and put cheese on their shoulder.
Fair enough. You have been re-upgraded to official cheese people.
Speaking with Josiah Jerome going for the move here against Zerai Garanian. There's a little bit of bump in there.
Look.
And we cut over to Ishmael Montoya versus Ariel Zatoni for, I'm going to use my favorite statement when it comes to the pro wrestling or to the MMA sim, reasons.
Correct.
But it does look like Garanian held on to 4th place for the time being.
Also correct. Actually, mine, so you're on reality 1.9, I'm on 1.8. It actually cut to me watching Vega trying to overtake Verstappen.
Interesting.
So, weird.
So Josiah Jerome, he showed the nose to Sarai Garanian, but it was not enough to get the job done. We'll see if he tries again here in the coming laps. Montoya now under pressure from Hutchinson, who has caught up to this three-way battle for 6th place because of the amount of time that they are taking away from each other and their ability to actually race proper lap time. And if you don't believe me, their fastest laps are about 2:09s. They're currently running about 2:11s, which is not great.
Yikes.
Right on board with Ishmael Montoya, who is looking for the move on Ariel Zatoni. Nothing has come of it yet.
Stop, Bill Watch. 6.5 seconds. Holy crap.
He has decided to put pedal to the metal. He's putting up a low 2:08s, which are by far the fastest laps on the track right now.
Yeah, I believe that's, yeah. Okay. Everybody else is an invalid, apparently, according to the website.
Couple of invalid laps there, yeah.
They're all just kind of getting carted around as an invalid.
Checking in with Kirill Vega and Christopher Streppin, battle for 2nd place. And then back to the battle between Zerai Garanian and Josiah Jerome.
Indeed. I'm going to take myself a quick pit stop and be right back.
I will be sole commentary man for the period in which Byron is currently taking a pit stop and probably procuring some libations as well as emptying the fuel tank and getting it ready for some fresh and most boisterous fuel. Josiah Jerome has got all the pressure in the world right now on Zerai Garunian, and Karel Vega has cut back into the lead of Christoph Verstappen. Last lap, he was a half-second faster than the Belgian driver, and is all over the back end there as Verstappen gets a little bit wide. Up ahead there you can see the Dutch driver leading the race. Mike Stockmill, sorry, had to cough there. And Vega with a sneaky move there. I think he caught Verstappen napping, and indeed is going to move into second place. Beautiful move there by Karel Vega. My hat's off to the Frenchman. And we'll see if Josiah Jerome can maybe get something similar done on Garunian, because he has been all over the back end of Garunian for quite some time. 3/10 faster that last lap has cut the lead back down to under 4/10. He is all over the back of the Ukrainian's car, and Ariel Zatoni has slipped back to 9th at some point, so a mistake there at some point by Ariel has put him further back, losing spots to Ishmael Montoya and Wayne Hutchinson. We ride again with Josiah Jerome as he's putting the pressure on Zerai Garunian. Once again, trying to find a way around the Ukrainian. The Ukrainian is a very fast driver. Garunian, though, has been prone to some mistakes in the past, either related to pressure or possibly the fact that he does have issues with internet connection. Putting the pressure on him,
that's probably a valid concern.
It is. By the way, James Butler watched 222 last time around. Not great.
That's not awesome.
You missed a pretty slick move by Karel Vega there, actually, to get into second place. I thought it was magnificent.
You're wrong, but, I mean, go on.
He just kind of decided to make the move real late, and I think he caught Christoph napping a little bit.
Well, maybe that boy could use a little cocaine.
He's in Belgium. Cocaine's in good supply.
We here at ESR fully endorse the enhancement of our drivers, whether it be chemical or otherwise.
We here at ESR believe in strict, rigorous drug testing with multiple exceptions.
And if you fail, you actually pass.
They do test race car drivers for PEDs. If you were unaware, they do.
Why?
Don't know. To be honest.
Oh, they're jacked to the gills.
I mean, it's a really physical thing, but I think the only time I've really heard of it coming to fruition was Thomas Enga lost a win for a period for testing positive for the Mary Jane.
That seems, well, I mean, I guess, yeah. It's one of those, I would also fail somebody in fighting for that because you don't want them all doped up. It does tend to slow your reflexes, and therefore can be dangerous. But I mean, oh, woe is me, he's hopped up on nandrolone, and he's jacked to the gills, and now he weighs an extra 32 pounds of sheer muscle, and his car doesn't work as good because he has to haul around all that extra weight. Who gives a shit?
Indeed, I would say probably any muscle mass building agent is not something a race car driver is likely to take. I mean,
you think EPO would have a difference?
EPO might help.
Yeah, maybe.
There are like some horror stories in F1, particularly of drivers like teams demanding that drivers get to like some scary body fat levels.
What? But muscle weighs more than fat, so like. Weight is weight.
More like just weight in general that they're after, but the muscle is useful, the fat is not.
I guess. Fat don't burn oxygen.
Nico Hulkenberg's always been a driver who has been kind of called fat in F1 circles, despite the fact that he is... I mean, if you look at a picture of him, dude is shredded.
It's It's like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Soap, fat man, and myself? Who's this fat man, eh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm bloody skinny, pal.
Nico Hulkenberg is F1 fat, and only in F1 would he be considered fat.
Soap, bacon, what have you been eating? I love that whole first part of that movie.
Love everything
Like,
about that movie.
They never explain it. Everybody's just calling this guy fat the whole time.
I love everything about the movie.
Correct. Could fall in love with an orangutan in there.
Speaking of which, we got a bit of a possible drinking game here. Ishmael Montoya is on the tail of Martin Edmonds, and they are in the same livery.
Woo!
Ariel Zatoni off-screen lost 2 positions. I imagine he made a mistake. He is still in the background there in the Moeller Bill car.
Will we have anybody come down with the all must fall with the Paul drinking rule and run out of fucking gas?
Whoa! Montoya and Edmonds with contact.
Give it up to me, fucking goddamn it!
Montoya's got it. Drink. Montoya overtakes an identical car.
Very nice.
There's a big chance there for Wayne Hutchinson. Unfortunately, he was unable to take advantage, and Edmonds has gotten it back, so you gotta drink again.
Oh, snap. So, see, when they went for the first jostle and overtake, it cut away to a different fight for me, so...
It did for me as well,
that's why
unfortunately.
I was a little upset.
I was upset as well. I'm upset! Wayne Hutchinson is fading in and out of existence, so maybe an internet problem for Mr. Hutchinson. Hopefully that sorts itself out.
Hutch is just so fast, his internet can't contain him.
Usually means someone else in the house is using the internet for something
Mom!
shouldn't be.
Mom, hang up the phone!
Hang up the phone and bring me the meatloaf.
Ma!
Josiah Jerome is still stuck behind Zarai Garunian. He is still unable to get through on the Ukrainian driver. But he is pouring immense amounts of pressure on him right now.
They're trying to stay Ukrainia instead of becoming we-Crania like, all over again.
I mean, the Ukraine's a lovely place to live. It's got its problems, though.
They got a lot of wheat.
Trump says a lot of nice things.
Oh, yeah. Because the wheat's the same color as his goddamn head.
Probably.
Especially if it's on fire. We
Come
here
on,
at ESR,
Josiah.
do not endorse political leaders.
Of any kind.
End of statement.
Especially Bernie Ecclestone.
Oh, what you gonna say about Bernie?
He's a corrupt man, he's exceedingly rich, and that's really all there is to it.
And?
That's nothing further.
It's like the Jay-Z, all he knows is Buddy Cash hoes. I'm from the hood, stupid. What type of facts are those? He's rich and corrupt. Huh?
And Montoya's got it done again on Edmonds. He is through. We are approaching that where we should see some pit stops, by the way. Approaching the 45-minute mark of the race. So I would not be surprised to see people begin diving for the pits in the next lap or two.
Zoltan says that your boy Nico Hulkenberg has no seat for next year's Formula One. I got it because he is fat.
Because politics, and he is fat.
You're too fat to fit in the fucking car.
That has come up a couple of times. Back in 1999, Damon Hill was going to be replaced with Jos Verstappen until they got to the point where they tried to put Jos in the car and realized this isn't going to work.
Yikes.
And then Damon Hill also decided, hey guys, I'm not actually retiring. Oh, that's good. By the way, Christopher Streppin and Wayne Hutchinson and Fran Machuca are the first pit stoppers of the day. Verstappen has rejoined in 9th place. Hutchinson and Machuca are still in the pit lane. Unfortunately, the pit counter is still not working in 1.9, so
Yeah.
We will have to randomly speculate if someone is pitted or not.
All I know is that Josiah Kid might be able to be kind of fast.
By the way, Fran Machuca with a super fast pit stop. He jumped Wayne Hutchinson in the pits, despite having been well behind him when they came in. So, two-stop strategy, maybe? Short fill? Really aggressive fuel strategy? Paul, Rick, and Benny levels of aggression, maybe? I don't know. We'll find out.
I think they should adopt my 17-stop strategy.
That I don't see. I see no way that works.
It's very strategic.
So I'll be keeping an eye out to see who pits in the next little bit, as we should be settling that off relatively soon.
Your boy, Paulie the Wolf, says Mansell was too fat for the McLaren.
Mansell was absolutely too fat for them. The difference is Mansell was kind of fat by like any standard, not just F1 standard. Nigel Mansell was
I would fit just fine.
Nigel Mansell was the race car driver that I looked at and went, you know what? I can do that. By the way, Ariel Zatoni into the pit lane, as well as Ishmael Montoya, Mike Stockmill's in, Carol Vega's in.
Oh my God! Somebody stole that car.
So we have got the pits well open at this point. As Mike Stockmill rejoins, Zerai Garunian has gone to the front of the pack. Josiah Jerome is in the pit lane.
Good idea.
Well, it depends on how your tires are.
Whenever Stockmill pits.
Depends on your tires. I mean, like if your tire wear is similar to Stockmill's, then he is absolutely a great pit guide. But if you're wearing them too fast or you're preserving them a little bit more, you can go deeper.
Deeper.
Christoph Verstappen overtakes Josiah Jerome, who rejoins. That's a really good pit stop by Josiah. He's right on the back end of Christoph Verstappen now, who was well ahead of him beforehand. So, excellent work by the Dominicans pit crew.
Put him on the wall.
Assuming, of course, that was his only pit stop. We could see a two-stopper by some people. The one I'm particularly looking at is maybe Fran Machuca, who made up a lot of ground in the pit stop. Although now, having seen where Ariel Zatoni is rejoined, I may be convinced that Wayne Hutchinson just had a very bad pit stop, and that's why he's dropped back.
These are all valid concerns.
They are concerns.
All the green cars in the world.
Indeed. So it is Garunian from Stockmill. Stockmill is the leading driver to have actually pitted. Martin Edmonds, Vega has pitted. Barker has not. Verstappen has. Jerome has. Montoya has. Perez Torres has not. Zatoni has. Machuca has. Hutchinson has. James Butler, if he didn't fix the front end of his car, so I suspect he did not.
It's fucking sea of green.
It is. It's also kind of a lime sea of greenness.
Make sure to pick up your limeade from your local Walmart. Official sponsor ESR.
Is that like that purple drink?
Could be like purple drink. Listen, if after all these years no one's made a knockoff soda literally called purple drink, what the hell? Come on. You could sell that for like 50 cents a whatever container and still make money.
Probably. Ariel Zatoni, not really sure why we're looking at him.
Because he's beautiful. Look at him.
I mean, it's a stunning car. Don't go. Oh,
yeah,
Josiah Jerome doing some tricks for the crowd.
The half flapjack coming around the corner, going for the triple gainer.
Him and Verstappen are gaining very quickly on John Barker, who is out there on old tires and has yet to pit.
John the Carnival Barker.
Javier Perez Torres in the pit lane.
Surely make you lose your mind.
Haven't seen a lot of Christoph Verstappen today. It's been a quiet day. Oh, no, Javi! No!
What?
Drive-through penalty for Javier Perez Torres speeding in the pit lane.
Surely make you lose your mind.
Javi, it's called the pit lane speed limiter, man. Use it.
So I killed a spider in my house today.
I would like to address that, but Christopher Streppet is very off the track.
I
And losing his spot
in any way, shape, or form.
And losing his spot to Josiah Jerome.
So killing a spider for me is a little abnormal because I really dislike the things that aren't spiders that spiders eat. So I'm good with spiders.
Like
Spiders
that
are good.
ant, like that ant colony that me and Martin
I
may
think
have
you guys
disturbed.
made that the fuck up.
Yeah, it was there. It was there.
No, I don't believe you at all.
Zarai Garanian into the pits, so Mike Stoffmill back to the front. Martin Edmonds into the pit lane as well.
There was no ants before you guys showed up. There's no ants after you guys showed up. There's no ants.
We did kill a lot of them.
Sure, I'll go along with that. Heroic last stand. I will grant you.
I mean, there was no danger to us, so it wasn't really all that much. John Barker in the pit lane, so I think that is everybody except possibly Butler, who has been in the pits.
Your boy Paulie the Wolf says, little known fact, Mansell got his mustache from the same place Trump got his hair.
Ooh, you take that back. That's an insult to Mansell's mustache.
Anyway, back to
Nigel Mansell was a bemoaning, distinguished driver.
Fair enough. Back to me killing a spider. It's abnormal because I like spiders. They eat stuff that I don't like. But this one was black and very glossy. And I'm not 100% sure, and I'm definitely sure we don't have black widows here, but I wasn't taking that chance.
That's a fair point. So
I know
after
that you people, tropical Southern Americas, get all them black widows. I'm not down.
Pretty sure that might have actually been what bit Kyle in the face that one time.
Should have bit him right in the asshole.
I mean, the face was more amusing because it was puffed up like you wouldn't believe. It was hilarious.
That seems fair.
So, after the pit stops, Mike Stoppmill leads from Carol Vega. Josiah Jerome's up to third. Christopher Streppens dropped back to fourth. Zarai Garunian's dropped back to fifth. Montoya to sixth. Zatoni to seventh. Edmonds did not... Oh! As I'm saying, it's Ariel Zatoni off the track, and he is joined by either Ishmael Montoya or Martin Edmonds. I believe that is Montoya. So, trouble between two of the Spanish-speaking drivers.
Trouble, boil and paella.
And that has dropped Zatoni to 8th and Montoya to 10th. Wonder if the stewards will have to have a look at that accident.
I like the mascara on his car. It's pretty. He's pretty on point. Got the eye makeup. You got the streaks correct, the angles, and the swoop.
We'll see if Verstappen can make a comeback here, because he was looking like he was set for a second place for a while there, and things have not gone super great since.
Rochelle basically wants all the stewards because hide your wives, hide your kids. They killing everybody in the sand traps.
Not sure if that's sand. I think that might be a gravel composite, but point taken.
Make it out of sheer obsidian and hatred.
That would be
Shred all
interesting.
the tires.
Not sure if Josiah... looks like Javier Perez Torres has perhaps been in to serve his drive-through, as he has dropped a fairly far ways back. John Barker just did a 2:56 lap. Something happened there. I'm just going to let you in on a secret. I didn't see it. I don't know it, but 2:56 is a slow-ass lap.
I mean, your boy Edmonds did a 2:48, and so did Zarai Garunian. So he's not that far off.
Okay. Some guys are making mistakes. We'll just put it that way.
I'm gonna go with way too much vegan cheeseburgers. Listen, it's called Beyond Meat because it's beyond your dietary restrictions.
A vegan cheeseburger. That's it's all kinds of things wrong.
Like to introduce you to my new Beyond Vegan burgers, where it's just literally meat. Even the buns are meat.
It's meat stacked on top of meat.
Meat on meat on meat.
So it's like that KFC thing that used the deep fried chicken as a bun?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh man, I really wanted to try the double down, but I didn't get around to it. It's gone now.
I didn't want a heart attack.
I'm fine with it. What's one heart attack? Come on.
It's less than ideal, that's what it is.
It's just meat.
Hey, you ask Randy Couture about that.
Listen, that's all kinds of other pharmaceutical nonsense. That's some Tijuana COD kind of thing.
That's shopping for a new wife. That's what that is.
I was trying to shrink my ear, so I was taking 93.5 kilograms of Nandrolone every 2 weeks.
It's not what it's gonna do.
My doctor said it was fine.
I mean, he's not fighting anymore. He doesn't have to go through PED test.
That equals truth.
Yeah, it's all about the acting now.
And does hang out with Sylvester Stallone. Listen, I'm not disagreeing at all with what Sylvester Stallone is doing. He's taking, I think it's HGH, and
correct.
I'm not sure if there's anything else going on there. But
I believe he's only officially admitted to the HGH, but there's probably a little bit of a cocktail going on.
Could be, probably, but his official stated policy is that he wants to maintain the physical hormone levels that he would have had in like his mid-20s. So I mean, he's not even trying to go through puberty all over again, and he's not trying to be Stupendo Hulk. He's just trying to maintain kind of what is perceived as the optimal physical health levels of a male in his mid-20s.
Yeah, I mean,
if he's willing to experiment and do that to himself, I'm willing to find out if it works or not.
No, it has health benefits, and let's be honest here, it also helps him maintain his action star status.
Yeah, I mean, he's almost 70 now.
Probably somewhere in that ballpark. The weird thing is, I looked up how old Sylvester Stallone was the other day, and I don't remember now. So I was
73.
I was down the rabbit hole looking at stuff from Tango and Cash.
Yeah, Tango and Cash is awesome. Sylvester Stallone is 73 years old and is built like a brick house.
Still built better than I ever will be.
Well, maybe you should get some HGH.
I mean, that is a thing. Oldest man in the Expendables cast, not the least physically imposing.
I mean, he just did Rambo Live, and it was awesome. And he did not look out of place. He was up against dudes in their early 30s on screen, I'm pretty sure. He didn't look out of place. Yeah, he looked older than them, but he didn't look like, oh, this is an old man. He looked like, if you're up against the guy, if you're in your early 30s, he looks like he could be in his late 40s.
Yeah, or like early 50s.
So, I mean, go see the new Rambo movie, because it's fucking great. There's some shenanigans with the collarbone. You'll love it. The kids behind me in the theater did not love it. They were very, very, very shocked and offended and went, nope, 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 literally out loud, and then left the theater. It was fantastic.
Hey, you know what? You got to know where your limits are.
Yeah, and apparently physical violence is not something they went to see a Rambo movie and were not prepared for physical violence.
Ishmael Montoya going down the inside of Wayne Hutchinson to take 9th place. Nice overtake by the Spanish driver.
Espanol.
He looks to re-engage his rivalry with Ariel Zatoni next, as it was the two of them that were off in the track. We did not see or in the sandpit. We didn't see what happened, but I'm imagining there was some kind of contact between the two.
He kicked over my sandcastle, so I shoved my shovel up his nostril.
That's impressive.
We'd like to point out that Stoffmill might be the best person ever to take a pit stop in the history of mankind, because he went from like being 6 seconds ahead to being 16 seconds ahead.
He is exceedingly good at the pit stops.
And Josiah Jerome, first place.
Josiah up there after the a bit of a bad. He got the jump on both Garunian and Verstappen through the pit stops, and then Verstappen all side that off, which kind of secured that third place for him nicely.
Correct.
Wayne Hutchinson is not willing to give up on that 9th place. He is still putting the pressure on Mr. Montoya. I will say the guy who may have still got the best pit stop done, Fran Machuca, up to 7th place.
Well done.
Don't have the usual Fran cheering section here today.
Well, Fran has the big cheering section when it comes to the Intercontinental, but I haven't seen a lot of cross promotion otherwise.
That is true. Occasionally get Gerardo in here.
Gerardo! I'm going through the Sylvester Stallone Wikipedia page, and there's it's like sexual assault allegations. What? Wait, what? I didn't hear about this. But apparently 2 women came out and accused him of sexual assault, and he just straight went to court with them, and they didn't have a leg to stand on. According to Wikipedia. You know, take that with whatever you want amount of salt.
I mean, it is sadly something that happens. There are some things that turn out to be kind of unfounded. That's why I keep having arguments with my sister about, like, you know, I gotta believe the victim. I'm like, you know what? I want to, but I really can't.
I'll believe a year after the verdict comes out and all the facts are actually assembled. Unfortunately, that's how it goes these days. You can't believe really anything in the media. Not to be totally ranty or weird like that, but it's pretty much true.
It's pretty true, yeah.
Gerardo! Gerardo's in the fucking chat. What's going on?
He speak of him and he shall appear.
Indeed. El Diablo Gerardo de Villa.
Gerardo, are you scouting for your 3D Speed team? Who are you thinking about adding here in the near future, my friend?
See.
Man, Ishmael Montoya is like just saying, hey Wayne, you are slow, as he's just powering away from him. And Wayne's a fast driver. He's got some skills. But right now, Montoya is on a mission to get back up on Ariel Zatoni's tail.
Might I recommend the gas pedal?
Gas pedal is probably about 65% of racing.
It's actually 66.5.2.
Not that much.
And 3/4.
3/4. Well, we are actually down to the last 26.5 minutes of this race, so about we are past 2/3 distance at this point. Or 66.6%.
33 to third repeating, of course.
We are with Zerai Garunian for... I guess he is the closest to the guy ahead of him. I guess that's why we are riding with him, so that makes sense. But no battles at the moment. Things have kind of pacified post the pit stops here a little bit. Although I am predicting a Montoya-Zatoni showdown at some point.
All right, I'm gonna set the over/under in chat. Everybody, give me your prediction bets. I'm setting the over/under for Stoffmail Watch by the end of the race at 22 and a half. Is Stoffmeal going to finish over or under 22 and a half seconds ahead of second place? Give me your overs or your unders.
Give us your thoughts on the matter. As we pick up Fran Machuca, who's had an interesting race. He had something of a disastrous start. We still don't actually know what happened there. And is now in 7th place, having a pretty comfortable time. He's not too far off the back of Martin Edmonds, which means he is in play for the end of the race to take that 6th place, because we know Martin's probably going to kill his tires.
I mean, that happened a while back. I hear that Martin tries to reverse drift every corner.
It's not good for your tires. I'm sure there's an advantage in there somewhere.
Well, I got two. Rochelle and your boy, Paulie the Wolf, have gone for the over. They want above 22 and a half seconds.
All right, we got 2 over. I'm afraid I'm going to have to agree with the over. I think he's going to pull away from Vega to be more than, probably around 23, 24 seconds ahead.
Oh. Gerardo just joined the RRS team for 3D Speed.
Excellent. I'll have to check out who that is on the website.
I believe that is literally just Gerardo and
probably
3 fake accounts. I have no idea. I'm making things up.
I'm going to check it out right now because we don't have a particular battle to cover. So this is as good a time as any.
Oh my god, you just missed the most amazing thing.
I'm still looking at the screen. Much like you, I do have multiple screens.
Yeah, but like one of them's 2 inches, and the other one you salvage from an ATM.
I mean, one is salvaged from a really old computer, I'll give you that.
Gerardo would like it known that RRS is hiring now. Please sign up.
Please sign up for RRS with Platinum Driver Gerardo Delvey.
Gerardo Guayaquil Del Villa.
Ooh, Gerardo's driving the Nissan Godzilla. He's got the Academy liveries. Those liveries are sweet. I would join him if I were you.
Chameleon eyes, he says. Not sure what that's a reference to, but I'll go along with it.
Current driver lineup, team-wise, for 3D Speed. A little silly season for everybody here.
I'm assuming Chameleon Eyes is a reference to the multi-monitor setup.
Mm-hmm. Wesley Stokes.
That you are weird.
Wesley Stokes representing Nissan with Apex Racing. Guillermo Taylor representing Argentina GT. He's driving a BMW Z4. We've got Carbone's Racing Team. Guillermo Martinez driving a BMW Z4. We have, of course, Godzilla Racing Team. We're trying to figure out a way to get the T in front of the R there so we can actually be GTR, the name of the car, as our short form, but Godzilla Team Racing doesn't have the same ring to it.
Godzilla Transcendental Racing.
We got Michael Magas, Mike Stockmill, and Wayne Hutchinson on that team. We got Project Zora, consisting of Simeon Naku, Richard Higgs, and Leonard Burke. Gerardo, Race from Spain. Solo Racing, Tobias Howard. He's driving a Mercedes SLS. And then the BMW Z4, right now, flagship team, VIP Racing, Johnny Major, Michael Jeffries, and David Walsh. There's a lot of New Yorker on that team.
Dang.
And the final team, WBR Brazil Race, driving Corvette Z06s, Hinaldo Tavares and Wayne Medeiros.
Madeira?
We also have the teamless entries of Dixon Hurst, Javier Perez Torres, Josiah Jerome, and Rick Martel.
That sounds pretty dope.
Gerardo, if I may suggest, you could talk with Mr. Javi P about joining your team. He is a quality driver who undersells himself constantly, and there is some flashing the headlights, so James Butler is getting a little bit of ire from some of the leading cars as they come through. That was Christoph Verstappen getting on the flashing of the headlights, and both him and Zerai Garunian are now through. And back to their chase of Josiah Jerome for that final podium position.
And James Butler pulls a brake. He creates a 5-car pileup that blocks the entire race from happening. And he wins by default because he's ahead.
I would also suggest to you, Mr. Delvea, that you may look up the Guillermos. Guillermo Martinez and Guillermo Taylor about joining your team. And also possibly Alfonso Chacon.
Good old Guillermo.
I know that Alfonso was looking for a team. I know that I will bully Javi P into joining a team. Or I'll feed him to Byron on a non-stop loop in the MMA. How do you feel about Mexican tonight, Byron?
Picante. Daddy likes.
So Zerai Garunian has gotten up on the tail of Christoph Verstappen. I wonder if that's why Verstappen was getting a little bit angry with James Butler in regards to the blue flag behavior, because it may have allowed the Ukrainian up onto the tail of Christoph Verstappen of Belgium. Christoph was looking really strong early on. He looked like almost a shoo-in for second place, and now he's in fourth, so I don't really blame him for being a little bit salty. The pit stops did not go his way.
I would like to apologize to chat right now for my short-sightedness in the over-under bet. I am clearly a moron.
Yeah, I thought that you set that number a little too low.
Well, goddammit! I thought somebody at some point would get some rhythm together and start hitting some corners correctly, but no!
Yeah, that last lap, Vega lost 0.7 of a second to Stoffmill.
Stoffmill clearly on the EPO, on end as well the marijuanas, and we'll probably have Nostal.
I hate to interrupt this PED ramp, but Zerai Garunian's going down the inside of Christoph Verstappen and has got himself fourth place.
Well done.
The two Rotec cars battling. I never knew that these two cars were from the same team. Talk about really, really different liveries in a team.
Well, you can diversify your liveries, you get enough sponsors together, you win about $3.5 trillion per half lap.
Diversify your liveries, it leaves more room for sponsorship, and that means more boo-hoo-la. Although
diversify your bonds.
Though that green car is a little bit naked actually on the sponsoring account. Ishmael Montoya's up on the tail of Zariel Zatoni. I said that this was not done and that we were going to have a reckoning between these two. Well, it's got 16.5 minutes for Ishmael Montoya to do something about it.
Came in like a wrecking ball.
Came in like a wrecking ball.
No, don't do that. Don't do that to people. I made the joke that was bad enough. They don't need it. Oh, hey! A little double hop.
I mean, could do the Within Temptation song, The Reckoning.
Yeah. That's also true.
Solid song. Really interesting music video with lasers and stuff.
Which band? Is that the one with the really stupendously hot lady singer?
She is stupendously hot, so...
I believe my favorite song of theirs is Gun Show.
Can't say that I'm familiar with Gun Show from Within Temptation.
I will post it later in Discord.
I'm currently...
Or maybe right now.
I've actually been listening to Raise Your Banner by Within Temptation a lot lately.
Oh, no, I'm thinking about a different band. Can't remember which band I am thinking about now.
I'm very intrigued because you said stupendously hot.
Yeah, okay. No, I know about Within Temptation. Probably listen to a bunch of their stuff, but it's very good. But I can't put my finger on a song that I love.
It can be hit and miss. They've got some songs I don't really care for.
It's kind of like Nightwish.
I've never run across a Nightwish song that I just absolutely don't like. There's obviously varying degrees of quality, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, after the original lead singer left, it's all been shit, but,
actually, I think you'd like the third singer. They've kind of...
Okay.
They've kind of returned...
the second one.
They've kind of returned a little bit to the roots, so to speak.
Fair enough. The second singer did not like... It's like they changed their musicianship to fit her singing. And
they definitely did.
Weird
they definitely
dance
did.
metal shit, and I didn't like. Everybody's like.
I liked some of it. They had one particular song during the second Nightwish era that I did actually really enjoy. But as a whole, no, it was definitely of a lower quality.
Yeah, no, I didn't. It became very much like weird poppy, kitschy dance metal. Not liking it.
It was absolutely more poppy. That was for sure. Honestly, the song that I like, which I cannot recall the name of it for the life of me right now, but it was actually a little bit less poppy. Actually, it was almost one of their, not like a full throwback to the Tara days, because they ain't ever getting back to that. Let's be honest. But it was closer to that than the poppy stuff of the second epoch.
Yeah, the only way they're getting back to that is if they literally go to an opera singer and go, "Hey, what do you think about metal?"
They might be down with that.
We would like you to do some stuff.
They've got a Dutch singer now, Floor Jansen, I do believe is her name.
She was in another band at some point.
Yes, she was.
That's a name that's familiar. I don't remember the name. It's all so convoluted. Metal's a bit of an incestuous.
It is a little bit, yeah. The weird thing is there's a metal band called Amrathea, which I'm listening to their songs, and I did not realize they had changed their male singers at one point.
Oh.
And I'm just like, when did I'm like curious. I'm listening to all their stuff, including the stuff I don't like, because they got some really poppy metal in there. And I'm listening to it just like for the sole purpose of like, all right, where's the singer change? Where did this happen? They apparently found two dudes who sound almost exactly like the dudes they lost.
Very nice. The Gun Show song I'm thinking about is by a band called In This Moment.
I am familiar with them, yeah.
I think they've got like about 3 songs I like, and the singer's pretty attractive. It's about as far as that goes.
I still can't think of Gun Show in my head. I'm gonna look that up after we're done here. Yeah, it's gonna bug me.
My God, Stoffmeal's already chatting. He's so far ahead. He's like, Floor Jansen's amazing live. Thanks, Stoffmeal, you show-off fucking prick. I mean, keep going, sir.
Everyone just take your own lives now. just retire from sim racing.
In live chat, talking shit about metal.
Talking about Nightwish.
Attention.
Jesus Christ.
He's actually watching and or listening straight up to live chat.
I mean, in fairness,
to just between corners going, "Oh yeah, I like this here."
In fairness, we are talking about Dutch metal, and he is Dutch, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. We probably piqued his interest, aside from the average Stoffmeal watch, which Crew Chief has already alerted him to.
That he is way ahead. Well, at this point, yeah. Crew Chief's not even bothering to give him a gap.
Pulls over, self-pit stop. Oh yeah, Floor Jansen's amazing live.
I've seen someone do that
Picks
before.
back up.
Oh, Ishmael Montoya exploring areas of the track that you're not really supposed to explore. And has lost some ground to Ariel Zatoni now. Not really any great battles going down to the wire here, unfortunately. I mean, we might get something. We still got 10.5 minutes to go. But there's nothing really holding the attention right now. The closest battle is this one right here between Ishmael Montoya and Ariel Zatoni. And it's about 2 seconds. 1.5 to 2 second gap.
Correct. Oh, we have I believe, a Espanol speaker in chat. Buenos dias. Rochelle apparently does not hate the second Nightwish singer. I don't hate her, it's just like the band took a turn that did not suit my palate whatsoever.
They reinvented their sound, which I guess is unavoidable when you get a new singer, but it's not that I'd even say per se bad. If you're into pop metal, it was probably your thing, but that's just not my taste.
It went from being like an operatic, kind of like operatic power metal into very just much pop metal, which I don't think should exist, but that's not my call.
You know what? No, like I'm gonna be honest here. There's some pop metal that I enjoy, but there's no pop metal band that I like enjoy the entire discography of. That's what it comes down to.
That seems fair.
Like there's some stuff from Amrathea, which I actually really do enjoy. I've been listening to some of their stuff a lot more lately. That being said, some of their stuff is fucking terrible. If anyone ever says Boomerang is a good song, please kick them in the nutsack for me. Like,
listen, if you've made a metal song called Boomerang, you already lost.
It's,
There's just no... Shouldn't... No. It's like War Club!
I mean,
that's a metal song.
I was playing Mech Warrior and I had some Amrathea playing in the background. I think it was actually just like a generic metal sampler, basically, that YouTube had put together for me. It's like, you've listened to this stuff, perhaps you would like this stuff. I'm like, okay. And it got to Boomerang, and I'm listening to the song, I like actually committed suicide in the game to go, no, this is not a thing.
It's like the time I had to take a bathroom break during a poker game, and it's like, nah, dump, there's all my coins, I gotta go.
Just drove my linebacker into the middle of like 6 other mechs, got shot up, and was like, no, I can't listen to this song.
You know.
But like Maximize, Digital World, Drop Dead Cynical, Nexus are all actually pretty good songs. Not really sure if you'd like them, because you're very anti-pop metal, but they're worth the exploration. Plus the whole 3-singer dynamic is kind of interesting.
3? That seems excessive.
They've got a clean female vocals, clean male vocals, and then the death growl. Yeah, there you go.
That was not my best death growl, but it's what I got right now. And I hadn't listened to Ashes of the Wake by Lamb of God, like the full album, for a while, and I played it a couple weeks ago, and I really, really, really wanted some stuff to go down, because I got hyped way too far, way too fast.
This is turning into like 10 minutes of metal with Mike and Byron at this point.
Welcome to metal! Stop Bell's chatting again. What about Dream Theater? Man, okay, Dream Theater's awesome. You need to calm down and concentrate on maybe the race. Captain 27 seconds ahead.
26 and a half seconds in front. Dick.
What an asshole.
Teach me, senpai. Teach me.
Hey guys, you really appreciate this Kiss, like, B-side from Germany, this 10-inch pressing that only, like, what do you think about that? As I'm like 29 and a half seconds ahead of everybody.
I am hoping that Ishmael Montoya gives us something to chat about here down the stretch about the race. He is up on Ariel Zatoni's tail. I'm hoping he can put some pressure on,
the shit out of that
make this a showdown towards the end.
Stuff mail. I don't know. I'll hook you up with a link. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but there's this guy who runs a foundation for kids musicians, like really young kids who want to get into music, and they do covers of stuff, and they do Pull Me Under by Dream Theater. It's amazing. I will post it up in chat general on Discord later. I know you're listening right now, so I mean...
you've given that away at this point.
How many... So, Stuff Mail, how many... Over under, Stuff Mail has 4 monitors.
Definitely gotta be... It's gotta be at least 3. He uses triples to race on, if I am not mistaken. I guess he doesn't have to have a monitor to listen to us, in fairness.
I guess not. You just listen to us talk shit the whole time.
Yeah.
Over under, Stuff Mail has an i11.
At some point, I actually do have to modify my rig to allow for triple monitors, because right now I'm running on the 1, and the triples would probably help.
You should run on 7.
But that'll happen after the new employment is secured.
Stuff Mail again talking shit. Sure, send a link. Doing this on like voice command, because if you're racing while doing voice command to chat. That's amazing.
Last time he chatted, he actually did lose about a second, so...
Alright.
I feel like he is slowing down.
You can't afford it.
Alright, we shit talk him until the point where this gap actually gets down to, like, I don't know, 12.
Stop, Bill, you're the worst.
Ishmael Montoya, in the meantime, is drawing closer and closer to Ariel Zatoni. We may get that reckoning in the for 8th place here at some point. As Ishmael is all over the back end of Ariel Zatoni and might yet have something to say about their battle.
Stuff Mail, what are your in-depth thoughts on Blind Guardian? He's trying to fit that in the next 2.5 minutes. I need an in-depth review, 280 words or more. Just so I can see if your time drops.
Just so we can see how much the gap closes. You get your gap down to about 25 seconds talking shit to us.
Yeah, he was up to like almost 30.
His last lap was still a 2:08.6.
I know.
Which was the fastest of anyone on that lap. Oh wait, no, Christoph Verstappen went slightly faster at a 2:08.4. So Verstappen fastest lap last time around.
Oh yeah,
Ishmael going for it.
I can't be caught, and I'm talking shit in chat.
Ishmael going contact.
Yeah, boy.
Little rubbing between Zatoni and Montoya. Montoya is not done with him yet. Making this interesting in the last 2.5 minutes. 8th place is up for grabs. Trying to slide down the inside. Yeah, nothing else really is, unfortunately. Everyone else has got a fair amount of padding. The next closest cars is Zatoni to Machuca. That's about 3 seconds. Oh, physical. No, don't go to Stop Mill now.
What a loser.
Montoya appears to have gotten the job done, but Zatoni's trying to fight back.
Stofffield says that the straights aren't long enough. He can't get back.
Zatoni is still fighting with Montoya. Do not dare cut to Mike Stoffmill unless he's pulled over the side of the road to talk shit with us.
His little convenience break with the outhouse.
Zatoni
goes for the white whale.
Montoya, well, yeah, I mean, he's got the blue whale in this case.
That doesn't jive with my narrative history.
That's true. That's true. Oh, Zatoni is not happy. He's getting very physical about this position right now. Going down the inside. We go back to Mike Stoppmill instead of the battle for 8th place. I don't know why. I apologize.
Mike, we can see you chatting. We can see you chatting right now.
Ariel is still putting the pressure on, trying to get that 8th place back. It recently went to Montoya. It was a physical overtake. Zatoni has been returning in favor, and there's a little more contact. Montoya goes very wide, and it's a bit of a dirty pass by Zatoni, but it does look like Montoya might have been losing it even before the contact. So I don't know what to make of that, but that could end up before the stewards after this race. Up ahead, that is Fran Bachuca lapping James Butler, so no fight for position going on there. Butler, by the way, 2 laps down to Javier Perez Torres at this point.
That seems pretty OP.
Get a quick look at him. He's still carrying around 30% damage, so he did in his pit stop fix the car. He's either broken it again or they were unable to fix the entire car.
Well,
not
at least
sure
they've
which is
improved
more
that in 1.9 because it says 100% damage for me.
I have turned off the auto director and am forcing it to stick with the Zatoni Montoya fight.
That seems fair.
As the two go around the damaged car of James Butler, who gets out of the way smartly with the blue flag. Butler is running 217s with the slightly repaired car, so that's better than the.
We have a checker flag up on the
about.
screen. Therefore, I assume that Stoffmill can give me his dissertation on the pros and cons.
That would suggest that Mike Stoffmill is in fact completed this race, probably joining on the podium with him, Carol Vega and Josiah Jerome. Montoya off the track. Perhaps. He shortcuts hard and joins ahead of Zatoni. Drive-through penalty, abuse of track limits. That is going to terminate this fight between Ismael Montoya and Ariel Zatoni. The stewards have taken it out of the Spaniard's hands and given him a drive-through penalty, which he will probably take a time penalty on towards the end of this race. That's going to promote Wayne Hutchinson up to 9th, I think, although I do not believe it will be of any assistance to 11th place John Barker.
Possibly.
Montoya's still going for it. Zatoni with a nice switchback, though. Beautiful defense there by the Argentinian driver. They are coming around to the start-finish line, so Zatoni beats him on track and will also beat him on the timesheets due to that penalty that Montoya will get. Wayne Hutchinson finishes in 10th place, but will be promoted to 9th with that penalty.
Like to congratulate Mike Stoffmill on finishing 93 1/2 minutes ahead of literally everybody while talking shit in live chat and throwing high kicks.
Indeed, because Dutch people do that.
The liver kick.
Got some fine action towards the end. Some good action overall. There's the 90-second penalty for Montoya.
Jesus, he's he's more than a second faster than the next guy. Per lap.
7.7, 8.1. He's only 4/10 faster per lap than Vega. But yeah, 26 seconds ahead at the end of this one. Ismael Montoya, an unfortunate 90-second penalty, drops him out of the top 10. John Barker getting into the top 10 as a result of that. So, Byron, do you have any final thoughts on the race?
Well, I mean, I had to squint at that. You're totally right. It's 0.712. I thought it was like 0.112. My bad.
I see where you're going with that, yes.
My final thoughts are European Metal OP. Please nerf. Indeed.
Quick update here, which I will also be announcing in Discord. The ESR Academy will be starting up again in December, the first Saturday of December at 3 p.m. Eastern. That it's going to be noon on the west coast of North America. That's around 8 p.m., I believe, in Europe. We will be inviting a number of drivers to participate in the Academy, and also if you are interested, you can contact us. We will do the consideration and evaluate whether you are Academy material. We are looking to bring the back end of the track up or pack up to the front end and close the performance gap that exists within ESR field. That is the goal of the Academy. We'll be emphasizing consistent driving, wheel-to-wheel combat, and the ability to not to drop your incidents per race down. More so than pace, but you will also certainly learn to go faster. I think you'll also find that you will learn to go faster by staying on the track more, frankly. So, if that sounds like your cup of tea, please send me a line on Discord, Mike Magas, or Mio Dread. That is all for today's action. We got ACC tomorrow, although I think it's drop-in race and non-official. And that is all for now from the ESR community. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. It was lively chat. We had some interesting talks about things such as metal as opposed to racing.
Did you know that the human neck has 7 vertebrae and so do giraffes?
There you go. The more you know. Knowledge is power. Always remember that.